Alright, today we're gonna look at the top 5 best attachments in Call of Duty Mobile. Now, these aren't the best attachments for a certain gun, these are just in general what I think are the best attachments. So, I will not include things like specific barrels, because not every gun has these, and not specific stocks, unless it's like a no stock, which a lot of guns do have. Um, so, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, coming at number 5. Alright, so I have to give an honorable mention first to this, the extended mags. A lot of guns, an extended mag can actually really help out the performance of the gun, making it a lot better, because adding extended mags can let you get into gunfights for longer without having to reload, so you can kill multiple people. Instead of just killing 2 people, you can kill 3, 4 without having to reload. As well as fast reloads is also great because it's like sleight of hand, but you don't have to put on sleight of hand. So yeah, both extended mags and fast reload are great options. Um, and I and it's not deserving of top 5, so it is an honorable mention. All right, our second honorable mention is the no stock attachment right here. The reason why I'm not giving it into a top 5 is because not every gun has this attachment. A lot of them do, but not every, so it's not going to be in the top 5. I'm focusing on guns or attachments that almost every gun has, and not every gun has no stock. Things like snipers don't have no stock. Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, snipers are probably the only thing that doesn't have no stock, but it's still an honorable mention. Okay, coming in at our number 5 spot for best attachments is pretty much any suppressor. They all work really well. The reason why I want this is if you're playing ranked and you're in a game mode like Search and Destroy, you don't really want the other team to know exactly where you are, so having suppressors will help. So while you're killing people, uh, you won't be shown on the radar. So any suppressor works. I like the monolithic the best if I'm playing BR, and I'll usually take light suppressor when I'm just playing in close range maps, and tactical suppressor most of the time. Monolithic is great, and it's silenced, and it gives you more damage range, so it's really good in BR. If you guys are playing BR, you should definitely take the monolithic suppressor. If you guys are in close range, closer maps, um, then you should probably take the light suppressor. Or if your gun is really good at long range but suffers from ADS speed, take this, because tactical suppressor actually reduces ADS speed, which is not that good unless your gun already has good ADS speed. Alright, coming in at number 4 is the stippled grip tape. This is really good because it helps ADS speed and sprint to fire speed. A lot of maps in COD Mobile, or a lot of guns, will benefit from quick ADS speed, especially when you're on close quarters maps where you're not doing longer range, where ADS bullet spread doesn't matter as much, because ADS bullet spread matters a lot in longer range fights. So when you're doing ADS speed, it really helps, in especially maps like shipment and smaller maps. So any smaller maps, this will really benefit. If you guys want to learn more about ADS bullet spread, actually look in the video in the description. I'll tell you more about ADS bullet spread accuracy because I made one of those videos 2 days ago. So yeah, now to number 3. Okay, coming in at number 3 is the red dot sights. I personally think the red dot sights are the best you can get if you don't like the iron sights for the guns. I personally like iron sight 3, red dot sight 3. You guys can always use 2 or red dot irons. I Alright, coming in number three is pretty much any red dot sight. I personally, or coming in number three is pretty much any sight in general. I personally like red dot sight one, but all of these will work very well, or any red dot sight specifically will work really well because it does not ruin ADS speed at all. Alright, come coming in number three, I have pretty much any sight. This is very useful, especially for me when I'm trying to go for headshot kills, because it's a lot easier to see where the head is and where to aim when you're using a red dot sight, or really any sight. But I personally think red dot sights are the best because they're the smallest, most open. I personally like red dot sight one, but I think all the red dot sights are very good. I think it's a very good attachment, especially when you're going for headshots. It helps so much. Yeah, and it really helps show you see how much ADS bullet spread you have on your gun if you don't know how much there is, because you see the actual dot like bouncing around. So yeah, it's a good way. It's a good gun. Or it's a good attachment to test things, as well as just good in general for helping you see better, especially when the iron sights aren't good. So that's why I'm giving it the number three spot. Okay, so the next honorable mention is a marksman type barrel. Not every gun has marksman type barrel, but it's pretty much just any gun that reduces ADS spread accuracy, increases range, and any recoil. I think these are very good barrels. The only downside is movement speed and ADS speed, but especially if you're playing Battle Royale, this won't matter too much, as a lot of times you have one really long range gun and one shorter range gun. So as long as your shorter range gun still has good ADS speed and stuff, it should be fine. Like for the KN-44, the Ranger and the Marksman barrel are pretty much identical. The only difference is that Marksman increases lateral recoil stability, and has less ADS and movement speed, while the Ranger decreases vertical recoil, which is, in my opinion, a lot easier to control. So if I was using the KN, I'd rather use the Marksman because lateral recoil is something you really cannot control. Um, Vertical, you can control yourself by just moving your thumb down slowly. With lateral recoil, that's when you're going to go side to side, and you can't really control that. So I personally would rather have less lateral recoil stability or control stability. Or I would personally rather have more lateral recoil stability than vertical. Alright, coming in number two is actually two different foregrips. It's the strike foregrip and the merc foregrip. Almost every single gun apart from snipers have these foregrips, at least one of these ones, and they're both very great. The merc foregrip is especially good on things like shotguns and SMGs where you hip fire a lot more, and the strike foregrip is a lot better for guns like ARs and LMGs where you typically ADS more because the strike foregrip uh, in, increases ADS bullet spread accuracy, which is great for longer ranges, which is mostly what you use ARs LNGs for. Merc grip is great for close range, hip fire accuracy, which is what you use SMGs and shotguns for. So yeah, these two are both very good choices to put on your guns. Now, the number one spot, the best attachment in the game, personally, I think, is the tact laser. The reason why I think this is it increases your ADS speed and it increases your ADS bullet spread accuracy, both which are very important things. The only downside is that your laser is visible to other opponents, but a lot of times, especially multiplayer, when you're when you are now coming at my number one spot is the tac laser or the tactical laser, whatever you like to call it. The reason why I think this is number one is because it helps with your ADS speed and helps with your ADS bullet spread accuracy, which are both very important. The only downside is that the laser is visible, but when you are playing a lot of maps, you don't really ADS for too long. You ADS, shoot, get the kill, then you stop ADSing. And with this laser, it only shows when you're ADSing. So when you're not ADSing, you won't see your opponents won't see the laser. I'll probably make a video about this, a little more explaining it, just a quick video explaining differences between the lasers. But yeah, um, but yeah, the only downside is really it's visible. But unless you're like hard camping a corner, waiting for someone to peek, it doesn't really matter because by the time they see the laser, they'll already be shot at or dead most of the time. So unless you guys like to camp and like to hold corners and wait for people to push you instead of you looking for fights, this is by far the best attachment because it doesn't really have a downside. Um, but if you guys, but yeah, so that is my top 5 attachments. I'm gonna go put all 5 of those on this gun and let's see how it looks. So I'm putting on the strike foregrip. Um, Also another honorable mention is the sleight of hand perk. It really helps with LMGs and shotguns. Any gun that has a large or long ADS or reload time. So I'm putting on the tactical laser. Now the stippled grip tape, red dot sight, and I'll put on the monolithic suppressor. So yeah, I'm gonna go hop into a game real quick and show you how good this gun is. Now keep in mind you don't want to put these 5 attachments on for every single gun. Some guns you definitely would want a barrel attachment. Some guns you won't want suppressors. Suppressors are really useful where you don't want people to know where you are. If you're just playing shipment, it doesn't really matter, so I would just not put it on. But I'm gonna keep it on right now because yeah, because I'm showing off all of the different attachments. But also a stock would be really good. So if you guys like the iron sights on the gun, I would suggest not putting on a red dot sight and putting on a stock. And if you guys don't really need a suppressor, I would suggest putting on a barrel. But I think these attachments are the best overall. Just because not every gun has the same type of barrel, so I can't really rank the barrels. That's why I put an honorable mention. That's why I put stocks and ammo all in on and the perk all in honorable mentions. So yeah, I'm gonna hop into a game. All right, we're in a game. So I'm gonna go play with these attachments to show you guys how good of a gun this is. There's people here. Got 1 kill. Got 2. Oh, couldn't get the 3rd. So the one thing I would take off is the suppressor, and probably the red dot sight. So the one thing I would take off is the suppressor and probably the red dot sight because you don't really need it on shipment. At least especially with the KN-44. Other guns might not have as good iron sights. You might need to put on a sight, but for the most part, I don't think you need it really for the KN-44. So I would put a barrel and a stock attachment on to this gun. But yeah, I couldn't really rank those attachments because not every gun had the same barrel, had the same stock. So I couldn't put them in. Well, I got shot, so I couldn't put it in the list. But it's actually this gun is actually very good. Um, yeah, I'm not doing the best right now, but this gun is very good indeed. So you guys should honestly try out the KN-44. It's definitely not as good as it used to be, but it's still a really good weapon, especially when you put on the right attachments. Especially when you put on the right attachments, it can be really strong. But I still think the DRH is the best in the game. There's no doubt about it. But we're currently winning this game. See, I mean, oh, that's not good. So yeah, that is about it for this video. These were what I think are the 5 best attachments, along with honorable mentions. If you guys like this video, leave a like. Yeah, and that's it for this video. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.